Yes, I love that movie.
Jonsy, you've seen it, right?
Hey, Tony.
Yeah.
You've seen Dracula, right?
Oh, I love that movie. It's so good.
Lena, you've seen it. What do you think? Filmspringa!
Hey, Brynne, have you seen Weekend at Bernie's?
Oh my god! Weekend at Bernie's saved my life.
Jonsy, you have to have seen it.
Oh my god! No, I haven't. Of course not. You've seen Nightmare on Elm Street. It's the best.
That movie scared the out of me when I was a
Lena,
kid.
did it scare the out of you? I have not seen that one, and I will be praying for all of your souls. It's your Rumspringa, Lena.
Hasn't seen it.
It's showtime!
Hey everybody! Hi! Welcome to the awesome podcast, Filmspringa! The awesome podcast about all your favorite movies that your sheltered friend has never seen. Hi, I am Brynne. I am not the sheltered friend. I am here with my other two friends. Whoa!
Oh my god. Woo!
Yeah, with the movie we're watching tonight.
I know.
I am here with my friend.
I'm Tony.
And I'm Lena. I'm the sheltered friend.
Yes.
Yep. And tonight our film was
I know.
Friday the 13th.
13th. Dun, 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 dun.
Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th is a horror slasher film that was made in 1980. Fun fact about this movie is that it actually secured all of its budget and financial backing before they even made the movie with just a
Really?
poster. Yeah. People were so in love with the concept. It was inspired by, obviously, Halloween. It has like a very Halloween-y vibe. It was made with $550,000. That was the budget for the film. It grossed opening weekend $5.8 million, and eventually worldwide, it ended up making $59.7 million. This movie was a legit
Hit.
hit.
Oh my god, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, this movie was
That's
like a
a good profit.
legitimate sleeper hit.
And it's
That is
kind of
completely
the hallmark of slasher movie. Like
Oh, yeah,
what
it's-
the genre.
Like Penn Ultimate, which is, if you guys listened or watched the last podcast, that's why I picked this. I wanted like the amazing pinnacle. I would say more so than Halloween. People are going to try and fight me about that. And I know that it's like hard to say that you think that a movie inspired by Halloween is more horror than Halloween, but I said it.
Yeah, you did. Should we watch the trailer to get the audience?
Yes, yeah, sorry, yes. Let's watch the
in-
trailer so
in
everyone
it?
can see.
See?
Get all excited.
That sound.
Hello? Who's that? Oh, hi. What are you doing out in this mess?
1, 2, 3,
We weren't doing anything. We were just messing up.
4, 5, 6,
Must be my imagination.
7,
Can I help you? Hello?
8, 9, 10, 11, 13th. You may only see it once, but that will be enough. Friday, the 13th.
Oh, that's creepy. Oh,
Are we back?
yes. Go
Oh, okay.
ahead, Brynne.
Let's get into this movie.
Film, yes.
I am like horror, like sugar rushed up. I'm so
Yeah.
excited to talk about this fucking movie. So this is a movie that Siskel and Ebert hated so much. So
Really?
not universally critically panned, like, but Gene Siskel hated this movie so much that he wrote a review naming the woman who played Mrs. Voorhees. I think her name's Betsy Palmer.
Betsy Palmer, yeah.
Wrote a review in like whenever, I don't know, the newspaper, who knows what old people did back then, and actually said, Betsy Palmer, here's the town that she lives in. Write her a letter and tell her how much you hated this movie.
Are you serious?
Yes.
That's fucked up.
That's
so
fucked
fucked up.
doxing. That's doxing. But he was like,
Isn't he dead now?
Yeah, he is. Which, R.I.P. Like,
R.I.P.
he wrote, in the little town of Rowan, Connecticut, I'm sure a letter sent to general delivery will be there to get her.
That is
Like,
just
it's her
shady.
fault.
Like, it's
Like,
her
it's
fucking
fault.
fault.
I know.
And this movie's great. He can say, which is, it's ironic because he considered this like vein of movie, like Halloween and stuff, a war on women. But like, you're like, oh, it's a war on women, so you're gonna fucking dox a woman and tell everyone in America where she lives? She didn't write this movie.
I know.
Right.
What the fuck?
Why
Yeah.
not do that to the director or the writer or, I don't know, a man, since you think it's
man.
against women?
Yeah. Well, so
Yeah,
let's
I
talk
don't
about-
get that. That's like real. That's very shady of him. Like, why would you
That's
do that?
So shady. She's an
Mm-mm.
actress, dude, especially back then when it was like so much easier to like get to people.
Yeah.
And I mean, but it's like, yeah.
Well, and if this one had, spoiler alert, female killer, like, isn't that empowering? Because
Right?
like, you know, we'd rarely see a female bad guy who is that feared.
You know what else? I totally forgot that Jason doesn't really appear till the second film, right?
Until the
Yeah.
so the Jason mask is not until the third film.
Third film, that's what it is.
In
Oh,
the
wow.
second film, I know. So, okay. So there's a documentary about this movie called Memories of Crystal Lake, which is like the camp.
The camp, yeah.
And so it's like so many, I don't want to bore you guys with like all the
I love that shit. Because there is this is a film that I remember watching and the first time and being terrified about it. But
So let's get
within pop culture, this is a staple within people who are horror fans. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
kind of the like you said, Brynne, the pinnacle of a slasher film. Like what Scream and all of those ones are based off of or like get inspired by.
So let's get into that. Tony and I, Lena, obviously, as
Has
our
never
sheltered
seen
friend,
it.
Jonesy's never seen it. This was her first time. We'll get
Yeah.
into what that meant for her. But let's talk. So, Tony, what was your first experience with Friday the 13th?
So my first experience, I grew up like Jonsy. I grew up Jehovah's Witness. She wasn't Jehovah's Witness, but I did. Grew up very religious, but I always knew I was like, I'm out of this religion the minute I'm able to. So I never was 100% in. I never bought into it. So I purposely tried to do everything you weren't supposed to. So with this film, I remember the first time I saw it was 12. And it was my one of my older cousins who was like so into Iron Maiden and death metal at the time. he was like babysitting me and my brother, if I remember right, and it was a couple of his friends, and they put it on, and I remember being terrified, and I started crying like, I don't want to see it, I don't want to see it, I'm so scared, like I'm so terrified. I don't want to see it, because I remember hearing like my mom was like, don't watch this film. The devil's gonna get in you, and he's gonna come and kill you at night, right? So I know. So he made us like sit there and watch it, because he thought it'd be hilarious to get these 12-year-olds to get scared shitless. And I remember watching it, and I remember being scared, but also I just could not stop. Like I was just glued to the film, because it was the first time I remember seeing a slasher film where you never see the bad guy until the end. You just, during the killing scenes, you get the bad guy's point of view. And I remember never seeing that before in a film until this film.
Interesting fact is there is no music in this movie except for the beginning and the end, except for when the killer is present.
Yes, and it's that, and the sound bite that they use is the one that kind of is almost related to almost every horror. It's that, you know, yeah. And I remember when I rewatched it, I was like, that's where it originated from, was this film.
Yes.
Yeah, but I remember when I first watched it, I was kind of terrified, but at the same time, I wanted to see more. Like I was like, okay, I'm totally game for this. But then I rewatched it after I was 12, probably I want to say 18 or 19, and I wasn't scared of it at all. I was more just like, oh my god, this is, I remember how many, like the death scenes, how everybody died. You know what I mean? Like, oh my god! And I remember getting pissed at the blonde girl at the Emmy or whatever her name is, Alice. I'm like, why didn't she just beat up the old lady? Why didn't she just beat up the old lady?
Your Dorothy Hamill haircut.
I know.
She hits her once
and then her
runs
like
away and leaves the weapon.
The way she used to crack me up. But that's my like original take with the film. So what about you, Brynne? Like, what is your original with it?
So I have a super vivid memory. When the first time I saw this movie was also when I was 12.
Really?
Yes. I'm from a large family of 2 older brothers and 2 younger sisters. And somehow something happened and I was home alone on a Saturday morning. And it was in October. And I can't remember which, it was like VH1 or Spike or something used to have these like scary movie countdowns. And like, especially in October, and they would have like the scariest movies or whatever. It was Saturday morning and Friday the 13th was on, and I was like, I'm gonna watch this movie because I'm like, this is fun. I want to watch a scary movie. And I had like some experiences with scary movies before, but my brother was down the street and he knew I was watching it because he left as I started it. So he and his friends were prank calling me all day and like going and it was like, I was like a little scared because I was alone, but it was the daytime, so I wasn't that scared and annoyed. And back when I was little, my parents used to make us all answer the phone. McEachran residence, how can I help you? So as like a 12-year-old, I used to answer the phone like my parents' little notary.
Like a secretary.
Yeah. Like
a 12-year-old like, secretary.
Business office. Yeah. And my brothers kept calling me. And so they were calling again, the phone rang and I pick it up and I go, what? Stop calling. And it was my dad.
Busted.
And he lost his shit. And he was like, sit in the penalty box. We had like a timeout penalty box. And he's like, sit in the penalty box until I get home. So I watched and I did it because I'm a dummy. I'm like, he wasn't home. I was home for hours. Like, what? But I did it. So I did it angling so that I could see the TV, so that I could watch. So it's like annoyance and like hijinks. And all of that is like all mixed into my first viewing of this movie. So like it has a very special place in my heart. And also I remember the first time I saw it thinking like, ooh, being like scared is sexy. And that was like a whole journey for me. Yeah.
You know, when I rewatched the movie, what I totally forgot, Kevin Bacon. Very young Kevin Bacon was in this and died right away.
That death scene was in my opinion, the hardest one to watch.
His death scene, Kevin Bacon's death scene. Yeah, it was
Right through
through
that neck.
the neck, which
I
I
felt
think we're playing it right now so our audience can see.
Oh, yes.
But in this film when he showed up, when I rewatched it, I was like, wait a minute, that's Kevin Bacon. And he's so young and skinny.
So young. He was just starting out. He
Yeah.
was like not really well known yet.
And with this film, a lot of people thought like, oh, he's the big star of the film now. Like when you talk about it, he really wasn't. He had like one of the smallest parts in the film.
But this is a good time. Are they still watching?
Yeah. Right when, they just stabbed him in the throat.
Oh, poor Kevy.
Poor
This will
Kevy.
be a good time. So we're gonna play a game because Kevin Bacon is in this movie. We're gonna play a game today. We're gonna play the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon or 6 degrees of separation.
Yeah.
So
Yay.
who are we gonna do? Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon,
And
obviously. And who else?
who is someone so random that you would never guess that they were in a film together?
Different worlds.
Different worlds. A British actress, maybe, or actor.
Helen Mirren.
Helen Mirren. Oh, Helen Mirren. Good. Yes.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
So
shit.
if you guys
that's
want
gonna
to
be hard. Wait a minute. Oh, just for the record, when we have played this game off of the podcast, Brynne always wins, and Jonsy and Lena and we're like,
We always
what? Wait, and
We're
we're
like,
like, and
I
it's
got
not 6
literally
degrees,
not a
it's
one.
like 25 degrees, where
I
Brynne
take it
gets it in
very
like 5.
very
so
seriously.
annoying.
Take it really seriously. So if you guys at home want to play along, at the end we'll try and get it. But if you have another way to get it, or if you get it in a shorter, separation than we can, put it. How would they Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram it, Filmspringa on Instagram, DM it to us, or you can even email it us. It's
Slide into our
filmspringa@gmail.
comment on the YouTube channel that
Yes.
you're currently watching.
Yeah,
it live
exactly.
on.
Thank you, Jonesy. Yeah,
Slide
you can leave it all there.
Type into our email, whatever you
Facebook.
guys.
Slide into our DMs.
Yes.
Yeah. So when you rewatch the film now, Brynne, how was it?
So I still love it. Obviously, the thing that I usually watch it every Halloween, but it's been a while since I had my daughter. It's been more like Hocus Pocus. I have a 5-year-old, so it's been a while. I haven't watched it in probably like 5 or 6 years. It's less horny than I remember.
Less horny?
I just remember it being like, when you watch movies now, and maybe it's just a decade thing. Maybe it's like anachronistic. Because now like there's so much sex and like nudity and stuff. Like I remember thinking like this was such a bloody, horny movie. Like, but it was. There's really
Can we
only
get that on
one...
a shirt, please? Bloody horny.
I just like always remember this as being like blood and boners and like that, was like what it was. But there's really only one like legitimate sex scene. There's like half a game of strip poker. There's not.
Well, there is the scene with the bunk beds, and the Kevin Bacon and the girl are on the bottom, and you see like Kevin Bacon's crack and then some side boob. And then they pan up to the dead body on the top bunk. That
was a good one. That one still got me. I forgot about that one. And then they stood up and I was like, oh shit. Yeah, that was a good one.
And also in this film, one of the things I really like totally forgot about was when the girls or anybody died, the boys or girls, they were so dramatic about it. It was so classic horror.
And they all close their eyes.
And they do this like it's
so
weird.
Like if I'm getting killed, you're getting scratched,
right?
You're getting spit on. Something is happening like a little bit. I'm just like
why didn't they kick him in the balls or something? Like, I don't.
Yeah.
They all like act like they're getting a cup of cold water being thrown on them instead of like.
Exactly it. They're like, woo.
Like, ah!
But I also remember thinking like, this movie must have been fun to film because it was filmed at a real summer camp, Nobi Bosco, which is like a Boy Scout camp.
Really?
Nobi Bosco. It's in New Jersey, and it's like deep in New Jersey, and it's still a functional camp.
Yeah.
But like, it just seemed like it would be fun to like be like shooting a horror movie in a summer camp, and then it turns out that like nobody lived there around for miles, but Lou Reed. the musician,
Yeah. I remember hearing this. Yes.
had like a ranch next to them. So he gave them like they got to go see him for free one night. He gave them like a free concert.
Oh,
Wow.
that's cool.
And it's just,
Also, didn't one of the if I remember this right, didn't one of the actors go blind from like the flake blood or something like that?
Yeah.
That's
Like it just seems like it was just like a real late 70s, early 80s free for all.
yeah.
I mean, I bet you the actual set was hornier than the movie.
Yeah,
Probably.
you get a bunch of young
Yeah.
Hollywood actors, throw them in the woods together. Yeah, where the half of the time they're in like their swimsuits or something. Yeah, no, I'm sure there was shenanigans going on left and right.
What is how is it different from you remember it, Tony? Lena, we'll get to you.
Yeah, we'll get to you, Jonsy. For me, the difference was when I rewatched it now this week, I forgot how campy it was. And I actually forgot it seemed funnier to me now.
Yeah.
Funnier, and I think because I'm such a like you, Brynne, such a horror film like junkie and just film junkie in general. I appreciated what the film was for the time it came out more than I would have when I first watched it and seeing how much horror film was influenced by this film.
Like so, yes, like the POVs and the Dutch angles, and it was just really it felt like home to me. And I know that says a lot about my personality, but whatever.
Can we talk about the fact that this is the second movie we've picked in a row with mother issues?
Oh yeah, this is our second mommy movie.
What does that say
alert.
about us? Seriously, we did Mommy Dearest and now the first Jason or the first Friday the 13th.
I like wasn't even thinking about that when I picked it.
Yeah.
Because in the original movie, it's not about Jason at all.
No.
And in the original script, Jason was not supposed to be, he was a victim. Like the screenwriter hates the sequels because he says that Jason was a victim. His original name was Josh, by the way.
Really? I did not know that.
Could you imagine everyone running around there like, oh no, Josh.
Joshy.
Josh is loose.
He's gone crazy again.
Run! Josh is coming.
Yeah, that does not sound threatening at all. How many sequels were there total, Brynne? Do you remember? Do you know?
There are 10 movies total.
10 movies total. That is a lot. That is. I think I've only gotten to 5 or 6.
And that doesn't even include the crossovers.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the only one I've seen. I saw Freddy versus Jason, and I loved it.
Yeah, there's Freddy. Jason Goes to Hell. There's
Jason in space.
I saw that one too.
What is the one, Brynne, where the girl has telekinetic powers in one of them?
Is that Jason in space?
Is it? I can't remember. It might be.
You're crossing over something else.
No, I know. No. There is a Friday
one
the 13th
where
one of the girls has she's like Carrie. It's like a cross between Carrie and Jason go at it. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
And I can't remember which one it is. But there is another podcast that I absolutely love called My Spooky Gay Family with Pissy Miles and her sister Sam. And they talk about not just movies, but everything within the supernatural kind of horror bizarre. But Sam, Pissy's sister, is a Friday the 13th junkie. Like that is her favorite movie. She's seen every single one. And on the podcast, she always references like, oh, that was in Jason number 9. And she like knows the line. And I'm like, God, that is like a diehard fan.
I'm the first one, but this one, like I haven't seen all of them. Like I haven't,
But I think the first one is like the one that really sets the tone for the franchise.
It's the Italian chef kiss of the franchise.
Yeah. And for you now, what did we give the original grade? Do you remember? So we can remind people.
I think I gave it an A.
I think I gave it an A too. So we'll revisit that at the end of the show.
At the end,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure I did.
The other thing I was going to ask you about this film, the big plot twist that I totally forgot about was the mom.
Yes. So,
and I don't know why I couldn't remember that the mom was the killer through the spoiler alert, the killer through the whole movie.
It's Mrs. Voorhees.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen Scream. Yeah, that was like a huge plot twist. It was like supposed to be this huge, like psycho-esque thing in the movie. And the end when Jason pops up was not originally in the screenplay. Betsy Palmer, the woman. So two fun things. Betsy Palmer, the woman that plays Mrs. Voorhees, thought this movie was a piece of crap.
Oh, really?
She only took it, like, she's like a fan now. She only took the movie because
and then she got so much hate mail for it.
I know.
She only took this movie because her car broke down and they were going to pay her $10,000. She was already a pretty well-established actress, and they had asked Shelley Winters to be in the movie, and she was like, hell no. Sally Field auditioned to be Alice, the main girl.
Really?
She
didn't know
auditioned,
that.
and then she eventually was like, "No, I'm not doing this."
She's like, "No, thank you. You
but
really don't like me." No, I'm kidding.
She's like, I really don't like you.
I don't like you.
But I was still like, it was still delightful for me.
Yeah.
Like that, like initial reveal, and then when you see everyone reacting to her, you can sort of tell that it's someone non-threatening. Because in the beginning, the cute curly girl gets in the car with her, and then like you can tell. So at the end, it's just like really, really nice. It's just a really nice reveal. I thought it was really well played.
The one thing with the mom that I couldn't get over was her freaking teeth.
I know.
Smash. You heard that?
It was yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question. Was it
making love?
I know.
set up to where the camp counselor was supposed to look like the bad guy? Or was he just creepy for creep's sake?
I think he was just a creepy 80s guy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was the 80s.
Like his shirt off.
Should we get Jonesy's point of view on this?
I'm gonna say, okay, so we have to hear a couple things from Jonesy. We have to hear her take on the movie, and also what Mama and Papa Jonesy would have said had she tried to watch this movie growing up.
Well, I'll start there actually. That would definitely be a big heck no.
Not surprised.
Because it's literally got it all. Sex, drugs, violence, like all of it.
Hot. Okay.
That still counts.
Yeah.
Especially in the 80s and 90s. So yeah, this was, and it was funny. I saw Scream in the 90s when it came out, and so it talks about all of these things, and it was like, oh, now I get it.
Now it makes sense.
I was like, oh, check. So that was interesting. I also feel like I'm going to disappoint you guys. I don't feel like this movie holds up. I don't feel like it needs to be seen because there are so many things that reference it, duplicate it, honor it. I don't know that we need it anymore. Sorry.
Oh, no.
How
dare you?
I know.
I don't know if we can go on with this podcast.
I know.
What are we doing?
What do we do? You know what I
What
have
are
to
we
say?
doing this
You know
for?
what Miss Coca Peru has to say to that? That's what she said.
Every podcast needs a villain.
I don't understand how I think this film holds up for what it was for 1980. And I think you watch it now and to me, it's still nostalgic and it's still good.
You didn't
and it's
think
still
it was
such a great
fun?
film.
And funny, and you didn't get a couple jump scares. And
I mean, it was Here's what I'll say. It's something like how your 12-year-old self discovered it. Let's say it's the month of October and you're just chilling around on a random weekend and you see, hey, this is coming on. I've got nothing better to do. Sure, watch it. Do I think it's something that sheltered kids need to go out and see so that they can like have this big check? No, there's a lot of, I watched American Horror Story. This past season was kind of that movie.
Well, yeah, they paid homage to all the slasher movies.
but
right,
are
but
you
that's what
a
I'm
horror
saying.
person,
I've
though?
seen enough things in 20 years that paid homage to it, that it was cool to see like, oh, this is what started it all. But did I need to see it? Did I gain anything? No.
What about their outfits?
Yeah, which
I
really
went out
bothered
and
me.
bought-
Angry at her nightgown.
Can I tell you?
loved it.
Can I tell you, Brynne?
Uncomfortable thing I've ever seen in my life.
Can I tell you, Brynne? One thing that really bothered me with this film, and I remember thinking this probably the second time I saw it when I was in my teens, is the beginning of the film says 1958, but nobody's costume 1958. They're all dressed 1980s still.
They're all dressed 1980s.
I was like, what the fuck?
Well, because they say 1958 in the beginning, and then the rest of the film, like you're not supposed to know when the film takes place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, 'cause
But they do say
current day.
in the beginning,
They
and you're
say
like, they're
present
all
day, and I'm like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, they're all dressed.
But they never
1980s.
reference, but yeah. But even then, they're still like the campers are like they're singing. I just love that they're singing.
What is it?
Sure.
Sure, yeah.
Hallelujah. And I was like, yeah, so people are definitely gonna get killed.
Oh yeah, and I was like,
Them
they're the
horny
first
kids.
ones. They're the first ones. The two horny kids, always
Yeah.
the first ones in horror films.
Always the first one. And then in the first 10 movies, it was always a blonde that lived.
Yes.
Oh,
That's right.
Huh.
Yeah.
Blondes do have more fun. 'Cause-
Well, apparently you did it when you watched this film.
Yeah.
well, in Corona times, I'm not really blonde
No,
anymore.
It's
so.
more like a. It's more like a strawberry brown.
And
I don't know if that
really
makes
know-
sense.
I don't really know if Mrs. Voorhees was like checking to see if the curtain matched the drapes.
Probably
so
not.
like I don't know if she was like discriminating based on dye jobs. It was just
She was,
or
like-
later on Jason.
Yeah.
Or maybe Jason was a blonde. And so she was like, blondes with short hair, little Peter Pan haircuts, I guess.
I
With
guess
him.
so.
I'll let you live.
So Jonesy, what about this film did you like, if anything?
Please, give us something.
I liked the girl we were rooting for a while, the brunette. I even wrote, I was like, I'm impressed with her survival skills. And then I wrote, never mind.
Wait, which brunette?
Which one? Which
Because
brunette?
there was
were
a
we-
couple of
The
them.
one that got shot with the bow and arrow.
Oh, in the nightgown.
She was
Correct.
the,
The one whose nightgown I hated.
Yeah.
She survived quite a bit. She survived more than the rest.
Yeah.
I took issue with her killing the most. And
Because we didn't see it.
Well, because also she was wearing that virginal nightgown.
Yeah.
She didn't have sex with anyone. And she was listening. She went out in the rain because she thought she heard a little kid
Which
crying out for help.
was the
But-
mom throwing her voice like she did at the end of
And I
the
was like,
film?
Mrs.
You know
Voorhees,
why
would've
she got
saved your
killed?
son.
No.
He was the sinner that suggested playing strip Monopoly. So that's her sin.
She got down into like a little triangle tap. And then she went to bed to read a book.
I'm just telling you, that's part of the rules of why they killed him. And that was her sin, was she was a little hoochie hoo.
I was like, Mrs. Voorhees, you got the
Are you
wrong.
projecting, Jonesy? Are you
Yeah.
projecting?
No, I'm remembering the rules.
The rules, yes.
So the woman that played Jason's mom, Betsy Palmer, had
Yeah.
like this whole, she was a method actor. So she had this whole backstory. And her backstory was that when she was younger, when she got pregnant with Jason, it was sort of like a sexual transgression. And she was severely punished.
What?
So that is why she conflates the camp counselor's sexuality with the death of her son and also something very, very bad. So that's why she feels she has to punish them because she was punished. This was all in Betsy Palmer's head.
Wow. So
it
she
clicks for
put
me.
like a lot of thought in. She was like, I'm making a back character. I'm giving her story.
I may have taken this to get a new Jeep, but I'm going to
What?
play the hell out of it.
I like that. So, Jonesy, you
going-
really dislike this
You
film.
didn't like it.
I wouldn't say I didn't like it. I would just say I didn't find it necessary. It wasn't one of the ones where, like, if I was going to make a list for other sheltered kids like myself, I'd be like, there's probably a few more that are more important.
But
Other horror movies?
well, this is the question I have for you, Jonesy. You're basing this off of not a huge library of horror films that you have seen.
That's correct. Horror was
Okay.
not a genre I experienced until I was a teenager.
So maybe while Brynne and I take you on this Filmspringa, we expose you to some other classic horror films, and then we see how Friday the 13th holds up compared to all of those.
Yes, we'll have to look back
Yeah.
at it. That's a great idea, Tony. I love that.
And see once we round out your horror education film, we'll
I'm
see what
sorry
you
to
think.
disappoint you guys. I mean,
I'm
get used to
highly
it.
disappointed. I can't.
I am really disappointed.
I know. I thought she was going to think it was hilarious or
thought
funny.
you were gonna think it was like fun and funny.
Yeah.
I'm sorry it wasn't horny enough.
So I have, like I said, I have seen the crossover ones where they're totally leaning into it. So that's why I feel like, yeah, no, I see what you're doing, but I enjoy the more current stuff that is targeted towards me, not the stuff that was like, this movie came out before I was even born. But in Freddy versus Jason, when he swings a girl in a sleeping bag to hit another girl in a sleeping bag, that's some comedy gold.
I know it is. I will agree with that.
But
you gotta also think
I can get behind.
Yeah, 1980. They did not have the technology when it came to special effects, because especially during the axe scene when the girl in the shower gets the axe.
Oh my gosh,
you know exactly what I'm talking about, Brynne.
Do we have?
Huh?
Do we have that clip?
Oh, I wish I would have pulled it, but no, we don't.
Okay.
But I love how she gets terrified and she's setting it up, and then it's this huge cut away from her, and then you come back and the axe is literally in the middle of her head, and it's just like, it's so weird.
It's like they were literally doing the makeup while they cut away.
Yeah.
Like, we can splice this. This is happening in real time. Cut away, do the makeup.
But with the film, even the plot of the film, it's not a deep plot. Like it's all about them getting killed. That's what I feel like.
100%, because it is horror for the sake of horror. And that's what I love about it. It's like, no matter whatever weird backstory people had in their heads, like, the screenwriter, the direct, like, there's no backstory for them. Like,
no.
Fuck about who you are as people, about character development. This is just for gore and for fun little camp. I went online and got some fun little camp shorts last night.
You did? I love that. I love that.
Yes.
But I think it was also, too, they were like, let's get a bunch of young adult teenagers, throw them in the woods on a camp, and murder them. Film done. There we go.
But I feel like there was also something I did notice. No one was aware of anyone else really disappearing or getting murdered.
They are all in their own movie.
But
Correct.
that's so relatable to what's
Until the
happening
very,
now.
very end.
It's so relatable to now. Look at with social media and everything. Nobody gives a shit about everybody else. So it's like full circle. Came back.
Maybe they're off boning. I don't know.
Oh, I want to give a quick shout out. Michael Perry's in the chat room. He watches Who Invited Her, so he's in there watching show right now. Hi, Michael.
Hi, Michael.
He said trivia tip. Composer Harry, I can't read that without my glasses. Had said the contrary to popular belief, the famous the sound we were talking about, the cha 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 cha. The film score is actually
mama.
It's represented it represents Jason's voice saying kill 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 mama mama mama.
Kill her, mommy. You didn't love that, Lena.
I did not know that. Thank you for that little tidbit, Michael. That is really
I was like, no.
Kill her, mommy.
I will. She just said that. I know. Seriously. So it's which is kill, 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 mama, mama. Oh, wow. Now that makes it really creepy.
You didn't love that?
I mean, how did you not laugh at that when the mom says that at the end and she's doing two voices pretending she's a kid? Okay, let's
do our favorite kill. What was your favorite kill in the movie?
God, this is gonna be a hard one.
It would be one we didn't see.
The girl through the window?
No, although that was
just some random body
through the window. That was absurd. No, my favorite, because it made me think of like a scene out of a play.
Yeah,
was when she shuts the door to the generator room and then he's just hanging on the door with all these arrows in him.
Oh, when she shuts
the
door,
you don't even get to see him get killed. It's just like She closes the door.
It was like an afterthought.
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh shit, we forgot someone."
But
Yeah.
that guy is
Just
like
put him on the back door.
responsible- Yeah, he's responsible for my favorite line in the movie, which is, "It's got a death kiss."
That's right. I totally forgot about that, Brynne. It's so stupid. What is your favorite kill in the film, Brynne?
My favorite kill is when Mrs. Voorhees dies.
Oh, with the head chopped off with the machete?
Because she's
That thing goes
still,
flying.
her head
goes-
gets sliced up, and she is
Still
still
going like this, trying to grab.
And it's like it's Betsy Palmer. Palmer's like, they're like, "No, you're dead," and she's like, "I know, I mean, she's
But I'm
still, and they're
still
like,
gonna
"No,
act."
Betsy, you're dead," and she's like, "Kill her, mommy."
I
Tony.
can't act dead any harder.
She's like still Shakespearean, and they're like, "You have no head," and she's like, "I am a chicken."
I am a chicken. It is you know what, that is so true, Brink. And she was still like, even though my head's chopped off, I'm gonna act the shit out of this corpse.
I am acting to the end.
Right.
I'm gonna earn this Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Right? Oh God.
Tony,
what-
Your
yeah.
favorite kill, Tony?
My favorite kill, I would have to agree with Bryn, but I'm gonna go with Axe Girl, just because of how cheesy that scene is with the pull away, and then they come back and she has a full axe in her head,
It's
like
just
that.
a
Yeah,
full
that's
axe.
gonna be my favorite murder dream.
You have to be so strong to put an axe through someone's head.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Voorhees is just like chilling, not even breaking a sweat, not even getting any blood on her white cable knit turtle.
Underneath that big blue sweater.
Not breaking a sweat at all.
No. And I
I'm
love how
sweating
like
now.
she's so dramatic when she gets hit, like when she falls into the mattresses and she's just like, ah, you know what I mean? Like, just like,
Their fight scenes for a woman who has been brutally murdering people in their prime for an hour and a half. Her fight scenes with Alice are so wimpy.
I
It's like,
know.
And I was like, dude, you all like picking people up, shooting them with arrows, hanging them on the back of doors, like putting, you know what you would have to do to put an arrow through a mattress, through a neck? It's like, but then like when she and Alice are fighting, it's like,
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
exerted all of her energy already.
Yeah, she
She's
was like, I'm done.
tired.
Yeah. But it was very enjoyable watching the film back after so many years of not seeing it and then coming back to it. It was very enjoyable. For me, it was.
So what do you think you would give it now, Tony? Taking off your nostalgia goggles,
Okay.
what grade would you give it?
So my first grade, which we talked about last week, I gave it an A. I think this time around, I would stick with an A just because I know how big this film was for the genre of slasher films and horror. And it was still, for me, quite enjoyable watching it a second. Like, so many years later, it was still very enjoyable. What about you, Bryn?
I'm going to give it an A too. Yeah,
Yeah.
I loved it. I was watching it. I was laughing out loud. I got scared throughout the night. I was, when Mrs. Voorhees lost her head, I laughed at my neighbors heard me.
They're like, what is wrong with this girl?
I was just laughing, and like it's just fun.
I got a question for you, Bryn. Is this a movie you would show your daughter?
Oh
at
my god,
12?
she's 5. At 12, no fucking way.
No way. When would you let her watch this film?
13.
1 year later.
1 year later.
So much
I
happened
don't
that
know.
year.
I honestly don't know, because like there's a war within myself of
Yeah.
like how much watching these movies at a young age shaped my sense of humor and sort of my sense of self, and how much it drove my general anxiety disorder and sort of my fuck upness. So I don't know, the jury's still out on that one. But I don't know, she wanted to watch it. I can tell you that I cannot wait to get to a point in my life where my daughter and I can watch horror movies together and like be scared and have fun, because like I love that, and I hope that she loves that too. But I
Yeah.
don't want to do it too early and make her hate it
And traumatize her.
and traumatize her, and then we can never do it.
Yeah. So should we ask Jonsy what her grade is going to be?
Yeah.
on this?
Yes.
I don't know.
I know. I can feel the
Well, I'll tell you
disappointment.
anyway.
I can feel the disappointment building.
That's fine.
Jonsy, what is your grade for watching this film for the very first time ever?
I give it a solid B.
A B? Okay. I was expecting like a D.
No,
maybe.
like I said, I don't think it's a bad movie. I just think probably some of the later ones that I haven't even seen yet, once they realized what they were doing, are going to, of course, be done better.
Yeah.
Like there's some movies that the first one is the best one and all the sequels will never be better. There's definitely somewhere it's reversed where the sequels just got better.
You like it when they lean into the camp, when they lean into the fun of it. And I think Tony and I like it, the purity of the horror.
Yeah.
Right. I can enjoy the purity of the horror because it's already old to me. And it's not the classic kind of old like Hitchcock where so much stuff was done out of frame that, it's timeless. It's like, that was kind
exactly.
of.
But they did adhere to all, like, it's like in the alien movies or in horror, they're like, never show the monster, never show the alien. Like, you didn't see it. There was a big twist. Like, you couldn't just see it for. I'm not going to convince you of anything.
Well, that's why I said I don't dislike it. I'm giving it a solid B. It's a very.
Fuck you, Lena.
She's like, give it an A, goddammit. What's wrong with you?
I refuse.
But the whole end of the one thing we didn't talk about, the whole end of the film sets the franchise up so well for the sequel.
And it was a last minute addition.
Yeah, the end of the film with the boat and Jason, you get to see Jason. Rumspringa right now.
Okay, yeah.
She's hanging on the boat, Alice.
What a weird thing to do.
Right?
And she puts her hand in the water and then boom, bitch.
Why get in the boat?
I get in the boat.
Why everybody in the boat?
Why are you like, I just murdered a woman who murdered all my friends. I'm gonna get in a canoe in the middle of the night
and her son died in this lake. So why am I gonna jump in a boat and go, I'm gonna go out there? Oh yeah, but it set it up for the rest of the franchise. I mean that they've made so many movies after that, like we talked about.
A couple different people have taken credit for that because, like, the original screenwriter was like, Jason was a victim. He was just a kid. I hate the sequels. And then a couple of people have said, oh, it was my idea to put Jason in at the end. And then someone else was like, well, it was my idea to make him like deformed so that he had some sort of like supernatural ability. So a bunch of people have taken credit for that setup. But I mean, it really did. And to this day, do we understand what's happening with Jason?
Nope. Did he get burned?
No.
Like,
did he get burned? Did he drown?
Burned.
Is he an alien?
Yeah, why was he burned?
Why can't he die?
Water?
Was he a demon? Because he went to hell in one of the sequels. So.
He was alive that whole time. Why didn't he tell his mom?
Yeah.
He was out here murdering people.
If he can't swim, how come he can leap out of water like a motherfucker?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. He learned to swim after death. I don't know what.
You can do one, but you can't do the other. Come on, you've got legs.
Yeah.
And like that scare came from the end scene in Carrie.
Oh,
That's
with the
what it made me
grave.
think of.
Yeah.
That
I totally forgot about that.
To me, that was, they saw or read Carrie and were like, ooh, we got to do something like that. And that was what that was to me.
And then the scene where the guy pretends to drown so that he can make out with the girl.
Oh,
they use that in Sandlot.
Sandlot, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sandlot is You're Killing Me, Smalls, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, You're Killing Me, Smalls. Yeah.
What is it? Wendy.
I forget her name.
What is her name?
Oh, wow.
I can't remember now.
Should we?
Testaburger? I can't. It doesn't matter.
Is it?
Yeah, it's the Squints does that thing where he sexually assaults the lifeguard, and that's from Friday the 13th. Like
Oh, I didn't know that. Look at that trivia right there.
Yeah,
there you go.
Learning new stuff.
You just gotta watch it. You just have to watch the movie, and then you just have to watch a documentary about the movie.
So should we, Brynne, pair the movie?
Oh yes. What should we pair this movie with?
As far as a cock or a drink, I was gonna say. I cut that word off at the wrong point. Did you hear that?
Or
It
the
was
right,
enjoyable.
or the right point for this movie. You know what I'm saying?
A cocktail and food or a dish or some kind of snack.
I
What
would
would you
say
pair
like
with?
I would say like a warm Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Oh, I
was
love
gonna
how
say
you
a
said
Schlitz.
a warm. Oh.
I was
Like
gonna
in the-
say a Schlitz.
Yeah, like a Schlitz's in the
Yeah.
back because it's like in the back of a truck. And I don't know, like maybe
With a PBJ with the crust off.
beef jerky.
or pork and beans.
Pork and beans.
A can of like Vandecamp's pork and beans.
Corn nuts.
Corn
I
nuts.
never went to summer camp.
I have a question
Well-
for both of you guys.
I went to Bible camp.
I'm not surprised.
Count.
I'm not surprised. If you can go to a summer camp now, what type of summer camp would you guys go to?
Definitely theater camp.
Yeah. Theater camp nerd.
Yeah.
Would you go to a theater camp? I'd go to a fat camp so I can lose weight.
Oh, that's a good
I'd
idea.
go to a
Yeah.
theater camp.
You would?
I always wanted to go to a theater camp and I never could.
Did you ever see that movie, Jonsy Camp? I think I
Yes.
showed it to you.
With Anna Kendrick.
Yeah. Very young Andrew Kendrick.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think so.
How have you not seen that? You're a theater
good.
kid. It's all about a theater camp, summer theater camp. It's so good.
I
was
went
probably
to
jealous.
Probably.
I went to a wedding at a summer camp and everyone
weird.
stayed in the cabins. It was the best wedding, the best party I have ever been to.
Really? That's
Yeah,
kind of a
everyone-
good idea. People get nostalgic about it. That would be
Assuming
really
you
cool.
like
Yeah.
everyone that's coming, that seems like a good idea.
Yeah.
I just feel like weddings always have people that you're like, I have to invite them.
You know
And those
how-
people I wouldn't want to be stuck in the middle of the woods with.
Exactly. You know how they have those like murder themed dinner parties? What if there was a summer camp murder theme
That
thing
would
where you
be-
go with a
Don't
bunch of
tell
friends?
people because then we can make this. This could be our
shit,
business
that's
idea. This
right.
is going to get us out of our jobs.
Patent pending.
You
It's not going to
can
be this podcast.
you can live out Friday the 13th.
That would be so much
How
fun.
much fun would that be? I would totally do that. I would do
Oh my
that.
God.
I would totally do that. Okay. What about let's do 6 degrees.
Okay.
Do you want to
Alright.
try to give this a whirl, Jonesy? I don't know
I
if
think-
I can.
I think I got it.
To remind everyone, Kevin Bacon to
And-
Helen Mirren.
yeah.
Okay. Lena's
So
got it.
I'm going to work. Helen Mirren was in Hobbs and Shaw
I was going to do the Fate of the Furious. Yeah.
with
Hobbs
Jason
and Shaw.
Statham.
It's the Fast and the Furious offshoot with Jason Statham and
I
Chris
don't
Rock.
think I've ever watched
And
it.
The Rock, not Chris
Okay,
Rock.
Chris Rock, The Rock.
Okay.
So Helen Mirren was in Hobbs and Shaw with Jason Statham, who was in, and I'm forgetting the name, but it's the Guy Ritchie movie with Brad Pitt,
Snatch.
Snatch,
Yeah.
who was in Interview with the Vampire with Tom Cruise, who was in A Few Good Men with Kevin Bacon.
Oh wow, you did it! I'm surprised.
How many was that? That was
That was
Five.
5. What
Very
was
good.
what was your path to it, Brynne?
Okay, so I was gonna
Embarrassing.
say Helen Mirren was in The Fate of the Furious with Charlize Theron.
Okay.
Charlize Theron was in Bombshell with Nicole Kidman. Nicole Kidman was in Just Go With It with Jennifer Aniston.
That is a random movie, Brynne. Just go with it is super random.
Yep. Jennifer Aniston was in Picture Perfect with Kevin Bacon.
Yes.
You did it in like what 5'2". I couldn't do it. I don't. I
She's
can't,
still
I'm not
better
good
than
at
me.
it. I'm so bad at this. I
We
can't do
went to
it.
Helen Mirren
I
has
got
been in
it.
so many movies. She's such an acclaimed actress, and we both went with the Fast and the Furious franchise for her.
But they've never been in a film together, have they? That we
I
know
don't
of?
think so. We would
No.
feel like fools if someone
I
was like,
know.
"Remember that movie they started in together?"
God, somebody's gonna put it in the comments or somewhere and be like, "You idiots!
No,
they were in a
no.
film together."
They're gonna be together.
That movie Red she was in because everyone was in that movie.
Bruce Willis
Oh,
was in that
Bruce
movie.
Willis,
I love
yeah.
that movie. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
movie.
good movie. Shall we? Oh, it's my turn
yeah.
to pick film for
Yes,
next week.
it is your turn.
I am picking a classic. We're going to stick with the 80s, I think. A classic rom-com. But this rom-com has a little bit of a sci-fi twist to it, which I'm super excited about. I and the cast of this film, Brynne, you know this for a fact because we've talked about this film, is amazing. And I know Jonsy's never seen it. So all you're going to get, Jonsy, is the movie poster. And did I send it to you? I don't think I sent it to you.
No,
so
but I'll
know.
pull it up.
Okay.
Once you tell
it
me
is
what
going
it
to
is.
be Earth Girls Are Easy.
Okay.
Is it
You guys
19?
cannot.
19. What year was this made in? I can't remember off the top of my head.
Ooh, it has to be early 80s.
Let me look it up really quick.
Yeah.
But this film
1988.
88, thank you. I loved this film when I saw it.
I
So we're not
remember
going to tell you
seeing
anything
it
about it,
blockbuster.
Jonsy. So
Nothing.
what do you think this film is about based off of the name and the movie poster?
I am assuming that the guy is an alien and he's inhabiting a humanoid body ish. And I guess he goes to high school in USA and experiences that.
Close.
Like a John Hughes
Yes.
kind of high school experience for an alien.
Well, we will find
Like
out if
16
you're right.
candles, but with aliens.
With aliens. Well, we will find out if you're right about that next week when we discuss
Earth Girls Are Easy. But
All right.
Tony, you and I really quickly need to
Yes.
do our
Great on
grades.
it. Yes.
Our grades.
Oh, you go first because I know you love this film, Brynne, just as much as I do.
I love this film so much. Like I have to be realistic
Yeah.
because I know what it is. I know what it was. I'm gonna give it a B
Okay.
because I can't. Because Jason for me is like a. I don't know. I want to give it an A+ so badly, but I can see that maybe there will be some problematic things. I
There
have not watched this
definitely
movie.
will be. I'll tell
Yeah.
you that. I think I'm gonna give it an A for
Okay.
the cast alone because
The cast is insane.
when I'm not gonna give the cast away to Jonsy, but the cast is insane for the 80s.
Crazy.
It's an amazing cast, but I do have to agree with Brynne that I'm very curious to see if this film is gonna hold up after all these years.
And this is one that like because I've seen Jason recently. I've watched Mommy Dearest a time or two.
Yeah.
I have not seen Earth Girls Are Easy in 20 years.
I haven't seen Earth Girls Are Easy probably about 10 years for me was the last time I watched it. And I remember I super still enjoyed it like 10 years ago.
Oh,
when I
really?
watched it.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
So I'm curious to see now, especially with where the country is and everything that's been happening. I'm very curious to see how this film is going to hold up. And I'm very curious to see what Jonsy's going to think of this
I
film.
know,
'Cause this is an obscure one, I feel.
Yeah.
So
Your
we'll see.
Mama and Papa Johnson's definitely we're not into it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Huh? What? I didn't hear you. You cut out.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say I know I can tell you right now because it says "Girls Are Easy" in the title. That would have been why Ma and Pa Jones were like, "Nope."
Nope.
I bet it was for a lot of other reasons other than that. Because yeah. Well, yeah, that's it. That's Filmspringa.
Filmspringa is done
Thanks
this
for
weekend.
coming along with
Yeah.
us. Yeah.
You guys can find us on Instagram. It's Filmspringa on Instagram. It's Filmspringa on Facebook. And you
Yep.
can email us filmspringa@gmail.com. Right? Gmail.com.
Yeah.
Give us any
FILMSPRINGA.
Thank you, Brynne. Give us some suggestions of films that we can run by Jonsy and see if she's seen them or not.
Tony and
or
I
even
have
if
seen,
I have.
yeah,
Or,
Tony and I have seen and loved every single movie.
I know.
in the history of the
It
world.
is with the thing that's been really surprising with doing this show and us talking film. Brynne and I have seen a lot of the weirdest movies.
So many of the weirdest movies that
Yeah.
were like very important to us growing up. So if
Yeah.
those were important to you, watch along with us and try and educate Lena. Don't get mad at her. I mean, sometimes you can.
You can a little bit, but not always.
I'm sorry, my parents actually gave a damn.
Yeah. We're gonna leave it at that. Then.
Direct hit.
Yes. So you guys, we will see you next week, right, Brynne? Bye.